What's up, guys? Welcome back to another backyard simulator session. We're continuing on with the top 59 hole courses in the world. Today we're playing Kambaku golf course or country club in South Africa. Never heard of it before, but looks pretty cool. Should be fun. Little 9-hole course. We're back with the new setup, second course with the new setup. New settings, like I explained last time with the other course. With this setup with the mulch and the bricks and whatnot compared to my other one, I've had to increase the elevation. Today we're trying 5,400 feet at, again, 65% humidity and 85 degrees. We'll see see how it is. There seems to be a few wonky shots here and there, more so than we previously had, but if we take that at the cost of being able to hit actual on-course club selections, I think we'll take that. So country club elite mat sunken down into the ground. Still trying to get a feel for the mulch a little bit. It's not too bad. My foot seems to slip a little bit, but that's probably more than me than anything, and it seems like the ground is a little more level here, so that's always a good thing. Gonna put driver out there, heading into some 10x7 nets. We got the Garmin Approach R10 behind me, and we'll see what happens. So first hole, par 4, we've got a slight dog leg right. We're gonna try to put something out there straight with the driver and see what happens. Should be a decent start there, as long as we don't catch those trees. Not sure why we'd have to wake up the R10 already, but 259, honestly, probably pretty accurate. I put one that was pretty straight. I would expect maybe a little more distance. I thought, based on the way I hit that might have been closer to 275, but maybe slightly slower on the swing speed. I don't know. A lot of different variables going on here, but we hit our first fairway. We're out there in the middle, so we'll take that. Second shot, we've got 114 up one, so we've got 115 to the green. I think usually that's either a full 52 or a choke down pitching wedge. I'm gonna go choke down pitching wedge, see if we can get something played a little more conservative. That started right. And short, 27 yards short. So we've got 27 left. Waste of a stroke there. Gonna play just about a 30-yard shot here. Take just a tad off of it. Started left again like I usually do with the wedges, but should be a decent number. All right, 28. We'll take that. Should be a par, I believe. All right, first hole, we got a par. I think this is the first course we played in South Africa, so let's see if we notice any difference. The green, or the grass color, looks a little different. There's a bunch of trees. So second hole, par 4. We got a dog leg left. Should be good if I pull them or turn them over a little bit to the left. So we're gonna go driver again. Again, should be better. That should be anywhere between 250 and 300-ish, I would think. And it is. I don't know about 311. That might be a little generous, but I guess it all evens out compared to the other one where I thought it was a little short and that one's a little long. I don't think that went, I didn't check the elevation up or down. I don't know if that we had a good amount of downslope there, but I don't know if that was 311. But we've got 115, 116 plus another 10, so we're at 126. That should be right around about 80-90% pitching wedge here, depending on how I catch it. That was better. Too much. Still trying to get used, as you guys can tell, with some of those shortages, even though the wedges inside and around 100 yards were pretty good before. With the elevation or the altitude increase, I think those do increase a little bit, so I need to dial some of those back a little bit. I might be coming up long on a few of these shots for the first couple rounds here until we really get it dialed into where I'm happy with all the numbers, but this is definitely a significant improvement. Driver, again, a little wonky so far, but we've got 14 plus another 1, so we need about 15 yards. That might be a tad long, but it's straight. All right, fourth hole, par 3. This is where we really should be able to see some of the settings. Well, actually maybe not. This is a long par 3. Oh no, third hole, par 4. My apologies. I was going to say 299. That's a crazy par 3. So, if we hit another drive like we just did, we could come close to this green. We're going to aim. It's pretty much at it. Going to aim a little bit up this way in case it turns over, but 299. We'll see. I know people previous to the update were trying to explain some of the shortages with indoor swing syndrome or whatever you want to call it. However, I'm not indoors here, and I do feel like, especially with driver, I feel like I swing as fast, if not faster, here with the neck. So I don't really have the worry and the repercussion of losing a ball or hitting it into someone or out of bounds or whatnot. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my driver should be going as far as I see on course, if not a little further, because I'm kind of going at it a little bit harder here. But that was low, and that's probably going to turn over towards the left, but should be out there. That one was probably a little more accurate. Not the best strike, about 250-ish. Went a little bit to the left. It was kind of low. That one I was happy with that drive number. So we've got 74 up to 76 plus another 7. So we need about 85-ish here. We're gonna go 52 degree. All right, decent shot there. I wouldn't be surprised if, with these latest updates, the wedges get even closer to accurate, which I think they are. I think they were a tad short before. Now they're just playing a little bit longer with the altitude, so I think those are pretty spot on. I think the irons are coming in much more into focus of what they should be. And then maybe I would suspect for who knows how long until the next update, or they do some kind of bug fixes, but it could be the kind of scenario where the longer clubs again are still a little bit wonky. You get some slight misreads, but I mean, I'll take that. If you get one that's a little bit longer and one that's a little bit shorter, as long as it evens out over the course of 9 or 18 holes, it kind of is what it is. So we're going to aim up here. If we turn it over to the left, that we either be in the bunker or slightly left of that, which we'll take that. That was pretty good. I would think. Might be going a little left. I don't know about that one. See, again, that one, I think I hit that one better than 230. That one, I felt should have been closer to 250-ish. So that one was probably 20 yards short, and the other one that was over 300 was probably 20 yards long. So, I don't know. 287 home, we're gonna go 3 hybrid. Very possible I'm doing something not right or just completely wrong as well. That's making these numbers not great. So if you guys notice something, let me know if I can easily fix it. That was kind of low. That wasn't the best strike, but it should be somewhere up there. Into the trees, then we have to wake up the unit again. So, we do have a clear shot, however, and this is a par 5. We've got 130 yards up 3. So we're at 133 plus another 13. That's 143, 146. That's either strong pitching wedge, soft 9. We're going to opt for the soft 9. Seems like my footing's evening out a little bit here. And that should be pretty straight, and that was a decent strike. If anything, that would be a little long, I would think. Or not. I did choke down a little bit, but I hit that pretty clean. We're right on the edge. Gonna make us hit that. But again, not to sound like a broken record, but even if there are some wonky shots, and even more so than before, at least I'm hitting the real clubs that I would be on course, so I'll take that. We've got 12 yards up 1, 13 plus another 1, so we need 14 yards here. Came out left again. Might be a little long. Yep. I don't really want to remove, I'm not sure how far over you guys can see over here, but I've been thinking I could remove anywhere between maybe 2 and 6 bricks from back here. That might help the R10 a little bit if that's what's causing a little bit of interference, but that's kind of a last resort kind of thing, because I'd rather keep all the mulch somewhat contained here if that's possible. So maybe even adjusting again, maybe the unit, if I can raise the unit a little bit, maybe I'll do that. Or maybe mess with these settings a little bit more before changing the actual setup here. That would be preferred. So 5th hole, par 4. Looks pretty straight. We got a bunch of trees to go over and around, but and I did, not sure if you guys can tell on video, the mat is slightly offset. I know from my understanding I can hit in basically a 2x2 area to move the ball around, and if I had a bigger mat, the R10 will still pick it up. So I don't think that's an issue, but I wanted to offset it a little bit, so I'm pretty much, I can stand back over here. If I have someone that's a lefty, that might be a little bit of an issue, but basically tee it up and put the ball a little bit more towards this left side of the mat, which is pretty much directly behind the R10, and then give myself a little more space over here. That was popped way up. That's not going to be great. That one might be accurate. That probably only went about 200 yards because I hit that so high on the club face. So we've got 181, down 9, so we're at 172, plus another 17, so that's 182, 189. This should be a 6-iron, and we'll see. If I catch this clean, like I mentioned in previous videos, 6-iron is a 190 club on course if all things go as planned. So if this catches clean, this should be right around that 190 number with the new settings. And it was not. That was fat and low. That's gonna be well short. Looks like we're right under the side of this tree. We could do a bump and run. We could go for it here. I'm not sure how fast this is gonna. That's the tricky. I think that's one of the trickiest parts here with this, with the Home T Hero, is judging some of these trees, if how far underneath it or how tall they are. If you can get either up above it or around it, or how high this is gonna get up. I guess what we're gonna do, might as well play it a little bit safe and end up in the bunker if anything. But we've got 75. We got about 80-ish yards. I think we're gonna do another bump and run. Gonna do a choke down 8-iron here, move it back in the stance, cut off the swing a little bit, the follow through. That was to the right. Decent shot, just too much. So we've got 40 with the slope plus another 4, so we need 44. I'm gonna go 52 degree or plus 2. Started left again. Not terrible. Driver's been on a bit of a cold streak here. Need to start squaring that thing up. 6th hole, par 4. Got a dog leg right. Gotta go up and over these trees. Hopefully we clear them. If we make it past that corner, it looks pretty open. So gonna go a slightly lower tee. Could be part of our issue here. Been skying the ball. That's a little bit low for my preference, but the other ones are probably a tad too high, so we'll see what happens here. Hit the mat. Might be into those trees. We got around it. That one, that might be close. That actually might be a little generous from how I hit that, because I hit that fat. But so we've got 92 yards plus another 9, so we're right at 101-ish. We'll try. That should be about 3/4, 80-ish% on the 52 here. We'll see what happens with this wedge number. That might be over the green. That was really thin. Yep. That was probably pretty accurate. 20 yards plus another 2, so we're at 23-ish. Just like real life, that short game killing the scorecard. The driver hasn't been any help either. Should be decent there. Squeak out a par on the 6th hole. 7th hole, par 3. 192 down 7. So we're looking at 185. That's between a 7 and a 6. We haven't been catching them great so far, so we're gonna go 6 iron. Club up just a tad. If we really catch this one clean, it might be 5-ish yards too long, but we'll take that based on how we've been swinging them so far. That was cleaner. That's gonna go decently to the right though. And it's coming back. Started right. Not sure about that one. That one might have been a slight misread as well. So we've got 22 down 1. We got 21. That 6 iron shot, I think that should have gone further to the right. It started, I can just basically tell from where it comes off on the net, and generally speaking, my irons, everything besides my driver, is going to start turning over. If it starts right, it's probably going to go even further right. So, but that one should have been further right, and I think we have to wake the unit up again. That one should have been closer to 180-ish, 190-ish, so I think that was a little short as well. "19 yards. I was debating playing a couple rounds here by myself without recording them to try to figure out a few of these bugs, but I figured if I'm going to play, I might as well just record it. You guys can kind of see what I'm going through and some of the thought process I have to get these numbers to really get close and accurate to the higher end units. But again, so far a few bugs here and there. I don't know, we'll see what we can do. I think before the next round, I think I'm going to raise up the stand that the R10's on, raise it up maybe a ½ inch to an inch, and see if that has any effect. So 8th hole, par 5, looks relatively straight. This is kind of a narrow fairway, so if we don't keep this one real straight, we could be in a little bit of issue, a little bit of problems here. But hopefully we catch a drive. Try going towards the back of the net, see if that makes it, or back of the mat rather, see if that makes a difference here. Wasn't the cleanest strike, but that should be relatively straight. Distance-wise, that's a little more on par with what I would expect. Maybe it did turn over to the left a little bit. This is a narrow fairway, so all in all, not terribly disappointed with that number on that drive. We do have trees to mess with now, and it's only putting us 203 out there. I think the score's not that great anyways. I'm just gonna rip a 3 hybrid. If we catch the tree, we catch the tree. Usually this comes out pretty low, so we might get lucky and get underneath that tree. It's tough to tell if we're right underneath it or not. That was low and to the left. Ugh. Waste of a stroke. We do have an open shot now, so I'm just going to hit this again. We're gonna aim further towards the green though. That was better. I don't know about that far left though. That came out pretty straight. And I think that would have been more than 200 yards, but I didn't check. I think we were out of the rough, so maybe that was another 20 yards. Maybe that could have been 220-ish. Not sure. So we got 84, down 4, so 80 plus another 8. We're at 88. We're gonna go 52 degree. That was thin and to the right. I did promise you guys the good, bad, and the ugly, so you've seen a good amount of all three. Especially now that I'm struggling through some of these new settings, trying to get used to some of them. So we've got 24 plus another 2, we need 26. Not a horrendous score by any means, but there's been some shots that haven't been so great. Should be a decent number, a little left again like usual. Bogey. And the 9th hole, par 3. So we've got 165 down 4, we're at 161. On course, I would hit at 9 here, so that's what we're gonna do. Caught it a little heavy, that might be short right. Don't think that one went to the left, but decent number, kind of. So we've got 21 plus another 2, we need 23 yards here. See if we can put this within 1, get out of here with a par. Did catch that a little heavy. That's gonna be a +2 for a bogey, I believe. And this is back to the first hole, so this is where we're gonna end it. Take a look at the scorecard. And we ended up with a +642. So slightly worse than last time. This was a little bit of a harder course. There were some more narrow fairways with a lot more trees and whatnot, and with some longer holes. But +642, par was 36. We went par, bogey, double bogey, par, bogey, bogey. Only 1 out of fairway, only 1 out of 7 fairways hit, which that's about right from how I'm swinging the driver. I need to fix that. Greens in regulation, only 1 out of 9. Also not great with the irons, and some of the distances were still a tad off, and 14 putts, which isn't too bad. But that's what I have from Kambaku Golf Club in South Africa. Let me know if you have any, again, some suggestions or tips of how I can dial in these numbers even more with this new setup. I feel like just from hitting, it still feels like my feet are a little bit above the mat. It feels like I'm kind of over the mat a little bit. Maybe that's just because before the mat was raised higher than my feet, so maybe I'm just I need an adjustment period here of getting used to it. So far I'm pretty happy. The mat doesn't seem to be moving with those two bricks that are in front, so that's a good thing. There's a couple wonky numbers out of there, especially with driver, and some of the dispersion. Seems like some of the shots are going left and right, but maybe that's me. I need to fix the stand maybe that will help it a little bit. But I'm going to try to work out a few of those things, and until next time guys, see you at the next course.